Dylan's Tech Show here, and let's get right into the news. Fuck, Intel. Intel's making millions of GPUs apparently coming quarter two. It's supposed to come out quarter one, unfortunately, but we have a lot to talk about when it comes to Intel, especially with my review of the i5-12400 coming out. We're going to be doing some iGPU stuff too, so stay tuned for that. That's basically channel information at this point. Yeah, Intel making millions of GPUs, a couple different tiers, 3 tiers from what we know so far, with some more coming at the end of the year to try and battle RDNA 3 with AMD's RDNA GPUs for Radeon RX 7000 series, apparently having 5nm and 6nm designs with MCM and monolithic designs. That's one of the new things with AMD, is going to be multiple chip generations, which is going to be very interesting to see. And then a Navi 32 or Radeon RX 7700 series will be one of the 2 MCM GPUs with the RDNA 3 lineup, and it's a MCD multi-cache die, which is very interesting to see kind of stuff like this in the news space for AMD. Obviously, we knew that AMD's new 7000 series was on the way, and it's going to be coming most likely at the end of the year with 6nm, which we've already seen with the preposterous 6500 XT. Although, in my opinion, I didn't think the 6500 XT was too bad, but that's for another video, I suppose. The RX 7600 is going to be a single die with a 6nm process node for fabrication. TSMC and Samsung are pushing manufacturers to go 6nm process, so it's better yield rates and obviously better wattage consumption. And so that's one of the things that most of these manufacturers are working on. Navi 33 is going to have a monolithic die on 6nm. Navi 32 is going to be 5nm and 6nm dies and cushion to one little silicon. And Navi 31 as well. The 7600 is going to be featuring a 128 gig bus with GDDR6 with 256 megabytes of infinity cache, which actually should outpace the RX 6900 XT, which is based on ROPS and Infinity Cache. 7800 XT, or 7800, whatever we're going to call it, has 80 compute units, 160 total with the 2 monolithic dies. With these being 2 dies almost, you're almost expecting the cost to be even more than it was before. And that's what gamers are kind of already expecting, with GPU prices already blowing up to smithereens anyways. At the 7600 XT with a 6nm node, 128 gig bus with 256 megabytes of infinity cache, it's going to be a very high power, or very impressive card, but probably around the $600 range. Mid-range cards are going to be $600. If the silicon shortage is better than it was last year, I mean, GPU prices are getting better, 100%. I've been going to Micro Center for the last month now, and they've been very steadily in stock. Best Buy, even though they're scalping prices at Best Buy and other sellers like Newegg and Amazon, they are available for sale for about 25% over MSRP, which is, I guess, okay. But, it's getting better. So, the 7800 is going to feature 80 CUs, or 160 total, with the 7600 having 40 CUs. I should probably mention that before I go too much farther. On a 192-bit bus, having GDDR6, 384 megabytes of infinity cache, and about 300 watts, which is pretty impressive actually. And the 7900, 240 CUs with 7,689 cores, with on a 256 bus with 512 megabytes of infinity cache, around 400 watts. That's pretty impressive for next generation. And we haven't had any leaks about NVIDIA, so is AMD going to do what they did with Intel and take back the crown for performance with GPUs? It's been forever since AMD has done that, and I think they're going to probably take the approach and get ahead of the game with Intel and NVIDIA with putting out this quarter 4 launch And Intel's probably going to launch at least Battle Mage by then, and they should get a little bit of a jump, or maybe they won't have Battle Mage ready yet, but they're really stressing on drivers, and Intel is going to be something that I do look at when the GPUs come out. So we'll see, have to see about it from there. But that's one of the things I really wanted to talk about is AMD's new GPUs. Also, let's talk about a little bit other more recent news in June to July. Possibly a AMD refresh of the 6000 series, which is supposed to be coming. If they're doing a refresh in June or July with higher clocks on 6 nanometer, these are probably failed attempts at 7000 series, most likely. That would make kind of sense. Apparently in May, there's going to be the RX 6500, which is probably going to be even lesser version of the 6500 XT for about $130. And an OEM version of the RX 6400 is coming out that's probably a $80 card, all with 4 gigabytes of VRAM to Scott miners. So that's one of the things I also want to talk about. That, and the RX 6500 should come in May. And the 6050 XT lineups, the refresh of the AMDs, are possibly coming around June to July. But with AMD having RDNA 3 in like about 9 months from now, I don't really see that being a really good side unless they really expect the 7000 series to really be either more expensive or be less available than, or they're, now that stock is coming up with the 6000 series, maybe they're like, okay, we can do this and then also do this at the same time. Kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's this series has been, this generation of GPUs has dragged on for such a long time. Usually it's only about a year till the next generation of GPUs come out. And NVIDIA and AMD have been stressing this out since 2020. And that's a long time. Typically, we would have seen at least a new series of this card by now. But that's unfortunately the state of the GPUs right now. And it was so hard to get originally, and then now it's becoming more readily available. They're going to do a refresh and then going to make the 7000 series at the end, or even Q1 of next year, so 2023. And it's supposed to be almost 35% better than the last 6000 series. So if you're okay with your GPU now, wait until 7000 series if the news is true. We can kind of go into that deeper later, but AMD's killing it with, I personally think the 6500 non-XT going to be around for $130 is going to be a good thing, but at the same time, it's almost one of those things where, like, okay, this is, if it's less performing than the 6500 XT, it's gonna have a 4-bit interface like the freaking 6500 XT or whatever. It's gonna be worse than that. It's gonna be basically a $130 1050 Ti. That's basically the only thing, or 1050 in performance. I'm not even sure. So yeah, that's, I don't know. I think that's, it's gonna help with low spec gamers or low end gamers, people getting more of a better deal on GPUs. Like I said, I'm building currently a i5 12400 with a 6500 XT for less than $600 to see what the price of performance is. Ultra budget, 8 gigabyte stick of RAM, then C16, and kind of go from there. That's a video that I'm working on currently. I've been working on a bunch of other videos on my other thing. I've been really busy with work and everything like that. So, yeah, that's basically the gaming news I wanted to cover for right now. That's pretty impeccable news that RX 7000 series, the 7600, 7700, 7800, 7900, all those seem to be interesting with multi-dies, which with the schedulers and everything that's been kind of leaked, I can't really go over that right now, but the leaks and all that with the schedulers and using multi-core, multi-GPU, it sounds interesting. Instead of doing SLI, you can do multi-GPU with tile-based. It's going to be very interesting to see how that works in games. Obviously, they've been probably testing it for quite a while. It's basically like stacking a 6600 XT and a 6600 XT and then smashing them together. And oh, there you go. I'm kind of intrigued to see how they do decide to do kind of like what Intel's doing with CPUs, but in GPUs, where they have a very low low spec, low ROP card, maybe 20 CUs. And then you have the other one that's like 40 CUs. I think this is kind of what they're going for, having a high performance die and a low performance die, and making an Infinity Fabric with Infinity Cache to stock some of that stuff up. It alleviates the two dies. That's assuming what they're going to do. It's very interesting to see how they're taking multi-core dies and putting that together to make this. It's going to be very interesting to see. And I'm excited to see what you guys think about this. Please subscribe as we're doing the Intel build. I'm just waiting on the case, but I can do performance charts and all that stuff with the 8 gig stick and then 16 gig stick. So please subscribe for that video. It's going to be really cool. If you like the news, subscribe, comment, say, hey, you know, AMD fucking sucks, Intel's better. I don't care. I want to see what you guys' opinion are. I like feedback on these videos. Like I said, if you want more gaming-oriented news coverage, check out the other channel here. And, yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. See you later. Bye.